Hey guys, how's it going? I posted a video about the Stage 1 Mackenzie Pass road race for Cascade, and then this is going to be a video about the Stage 2 time trial and my thoughts on how to race it. So here goes. This year they went back to the old Skyliners course, which is an out and back time trial. It's uphill on the way out and downhill on the way back. It's not a crazy climb, but it definitely is a time trial that suits climbers much better than the flatter Prineville TT. That one was dead flat, and if you were a climber that couldn't time trial well, you were basically at a big disadvantage with respect to the overall classification. So this one levels the playing field a little bit, and you really don't have to be a time trial specialist to do well on this stage. You do have to be a good time trialist, but you can be kind of a GC climber time trialist and not just, you know, a big crusher. So because it is uphill on the way out and downhill on the way back, you definitely want to front load your effort and go harder on the way out than on the way back, because on the way out, you know, every few watts that you put into it, you're going to go that much faster. On the way back, you'll be going, you know, 40 or 45 half of the time, and it doesn't matter if you're, you know, pedaling at 100 watts or 400 watts, you're not going to make a big difference in time on the way back. So the faster you're going in any time trial, the more you want to use that to recover for when you go up a hill or you have a headwind and you're going slower, because whenever you're going slower, your power is going to pay off more in saved time. For the most part, I would go, you know, harder than you would usually expect to go in a time trial on the way out, and definitely, you know, stay in your time trial position as much as possible. But if it's, you know, a little steeper pitch on the course, it's okay if you maybe sit up a little bit to breathe easier and get a little more power, because if you're going, you know, 16 miles an hour up one of the steeper portions of the outbound section of the race, it's not going to penalize you that much in wind resistance to sit up and, you know, make yourself more comfortable. But definitely where it's flatter, or there's like there's a couple little dips or flat sections where you might be going faster, you definitely want to be disciplined and stay in your aero position for those portions of the race. And then as soon as you get to the turnaround, you have a turnaround that's like at the top of a little bump, and then you flip it, you go down for a second and then up again before the main descent. So you definitely should you know, go hard on the uphill towards the turnaround, ease up as you know, start to roll towards the actual turnaround, so you get, you know, 10-15 seconds of like catching your breath before you flip it and you have to get back up to speed. Accelerate hard, because you can pick up time there. If you don't accelerate hard, you're going to lose a few seconds that you know, would want. Sprint out of the turnaround, ease up for a second, push it on the uphill, and then push it over the top until you're up to speed. Once you get past 30-35 miles an hour, then you can kind of ease up a little bit and start to recover, so that where it's shallower and you start to slow down again, you can kind of dig in a bit more. You know, for any time trial, pacing is really key, and this time trial is awesome. It's nice because it's very conveniently located close to town, so you can easily pre-ride it when you get to Bend, or, you know, you could even pre-ride it the morning of the time trial maybe, or, you know, drive it after the road race if you really needed to. And definitely remember to scope out the start and finish line, and they're slightly different places, so make sure that for any time trial, you know exactly where the start is and exactly where the finish is, because you can make a wrong turn assuming that the start and the finish are the same place when they aren't, or maybe they are in the same straightaway, but maybe the finish is ahead of or behind the start line, and maybe you know, are coming in with a K to go and you're pacing it poorly and, you know, leave a bunch in the tank, or maybe you sprint early and then you like slow down the last, you know, couple hundred meters because you anticipated the wrong finish line. So just, you know, always pay attention to the details. So aside from pacing, that's obviously very key for any time trial, as is your equipment. You know, make sure your equipment is working ahead of time. Hopefully before you even got to Bend, you know, all your equipment is working perfectly. If you get there and there's any uncertainty, you know, spin around on your time trial bike and make sure it's shifting well. make sure your disc and aero front wheel are in good shape. You know, make sure your helmet's well adjusted, make sure everything's dialed. For pinning your number, you know, do that ahead of time and make sure everything's dialed so that when it comes time for the time trial, all you have to do is just get to the race menu, do your warm-up, and think about nothing else except warming up and doing your effort. Even if you're not going for a stage result or the GC, if you're just trying to make time cut, the more you can just focus on doing your effort, the less stress there is and the easier it will be to perform well.